The effects of pornography on your brain. Have you ever pondered how watching porn affects your brain? Take a fascinating trip into the neuroscience of porn and discover the surprising ways that it influences your desires, attitudes, and actions. Have you ever wondered why some pictures or movies hold your interest for such a long time? Are you curious in the scientific basis for the addictive qualities of porn and how it affects relationships? We'll examine the complex mechanisms by which your brain processes pornographic material in this enlightening video, along with the consequences it may have on your mental and emotional health. Don't miss this insightful investigation. Start listening now to discover the hidden effects of pornography on the brain. Neurochemical response. A complex web of neurotransmitters interacts in the brain to affect sensations of pleasure, reward, and arousal in response to the consumption of pornography. One of the main neurotransmitters implicated in the neurochemical reaction to pornography is dopamine, which is sometimes referred to as the pleasure chemical in the brain. Dopamine levels in the brain rise in response to seeing pornographic material, causing people to feel happy and excited. The dopamine spike that follows reinforces the activity, increasing the likelihood that people would look for and use pornography in the future. In addition, watching porn may also cause the production of other neurotransmitters like oxytocin and endorphins, which can heighten emotions of closeness, calmness, and bliss. Furthermore, pornography can trigger a cycle of reward and yearning comparable to substance addiction due to the neurochemical reaction to it. Dopamine receptors in the brain may become desensitized as a result of repeated exposure to pornographic stimulant. As a result, people may need to consume more stimulating information to get the same level of pleasure. Pornography consumption patterns that are compulsive and addictive may emerge as a result of this tolerance phenomena. Furthermore, the brain's release of dopamine in response to the expectation of seeing pornographic material can establish a conditioned response that strengthens the habit and prolongs the cycle of reward and yearning. Moreover, the neurochemical reaction to pornography can have profound effects on people's mental and emotional health. Overindulgence in pornography has been linked to negative psychological effects like depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem, as well as signs of addiction like cravings, loss of control, and withdrawal. Pornographic stimuli repeatedly trigger the brain's reward system, which can diminish pleasurable responses to natural rewards like physical intimacy or social contact. This can exacerbate feelings of emptiness and discontent in other aspects of life. Recognizing the possible risks and repercussions of pornography consumption and encouraging educated decisions about sexual health and well-being require an understanding of the neurochemical reaction to it. Neural pathways. One important part of pornography's effects on the brain is how it alters neural connections. Neural pathways related to reward processing and sexual arousal may alter as a result of frequent exposure to pornographic material, which may have both desensitization and sensitization effects. These brain circuits may first become more activated in reaction to pornography, which will raise arousal and excitement levels. But with time, exposure to porn can desensitize these brain circuits, making it necessary for people to seek out more intense or unusual content in order to elicit the same amount of arousal. This condition, referred to as tolerance, may result in obsessive and addictive behavioral patterns, as well as feed a vicious cycle of increasing pornographic use. Consuming porn can also affect a person's fantasies, attitudes about sexuality, and sexual preferences. People's expectations and wants can be shaped by exposure to a variety of unrealistic and varied depictions of sexual activity in pornographic material, which may have an impact on their relationships and real-life sexual encounters. Because of its plasticity, the brain can change its neural connections and activation patterns in response to novel stimuli and experiences, including those seen in pornography. Because of this, people could start to favor particular kinds of sexual content or start acting in ways that are similar to what they have seen in porn. Furthermore, pornography may have an effect on other cognitive functions and behaviors, in addition to sexual arousal and behavior on brain networks. According to research, consuming too much pornography may affect one's ability to manage one's thoughts and make wise decisions, which can make it harder to control one's sexual impulses and choose how much pornography to watch. Furthermore, the brain circuits that pornography alters may be part of the attentional biases towards sexual stimuli, which makes it challenging for people to turn away from porn and concentrate on other things. These cognitive impacts may impair people's functioning and general well-being, impacting not just their sexual conduct, but also other areas of their lives. Pornography can have a significant impact on brain neuronal networks that affect behavior, sexual arousal, reward processing, and cognitive function. Recognizing the possible hazards and repercussions of pornography consumption and encouraging educated decisions about sexual health and well-being require an understanding of these effects. People can take proactive measures to reduce potential harm and develop healthy views toward relationships and sexuality by realizing the influence of pornography on brain circuits. Cognitive impact. The use of pornography has a variety of impacts on the brain's attention, memory, and decision-making processes. The phenomena of attentional biases towards sexual stimuli is one noteworthy feature. People who watch pornography frequently may become more sensitive to sexual content. This may make it difficult to put down pornographic content and concentrate on other duties or pursuits, which may result in diversions and a reduction in daily productivity. Furthermore, excessive pornography intake has been linked to cognitive control deficiencies, which makes it difficult for people to control their sexual impulses and make wise judgments regarding pornography consumption. When people lack the cognitive discipline to resist the impulse to consume pornography, despite the consequences, it can lead to compulsive and addictive patterns of behavior. Moreover, the way that pornography affects memory can have an effect on how people view and feel about sexuality. According to research, people's sexual imaginations and preferences can be shaped by exposure to pornographic material, which can also affect how they expect and feel during in-person sexual experiences. Furthermore, repeated exposure to pornographic content may harm memory and cognitive abilities, making it harder to remember details or form reliable opinions regarding sexual behavior. This may have an impact on people's sexual health and well-being, since it may make it more difficult for them to establish fulfilling relationships due to skewed ideas about sexuality and inflated expectations brought on by pornography. Furthermore, the influence of pornography on cognition goes beyond personal conduct and encompasses cultural perspectives and standards related to sexual orientation. The way that sexual conduct and relationships are portrayed in pornography has the power to alter societal norms and expectations by affecting attitudes and views about sexuality. This may contribute to misunderstandings or false beliefs about sexual activity. It may also have an impact on people's sense of intimacy, consent, and sexual health. Furthermore, the pervasiveness of pornographic content in digital media can make it difficult for legislators, educators, and parents to address the possible negative effects of pornography usage and to promote positive attitudes towards sexuality. Pornography intake has a variety of cognitive impacts on the brain's attention, memory, and decision-making functions. Recognizing the possible hazards and repercussions of pornography consumption and encouraging educated decisions about sexual health and well-being require an understanding of these effects. By recognizing the cognitive effects of pornography, people can create plans to lessen possible risks and foster more positive views about relationships and sexuality. Psychological consequences. Pornography usage has a wide range of psychological repercussions for people's relationships, mental health, and general well-being. The possibility of addiction-like behaviors linked to excessive pornographic intake is one important psychological effect. According to research, some people may become compulsive and unable to manage their use of pornography, which can have detrimental effects on relationships, employment, and general functioning. As a result, people may experience emotions of guilt, humiliation, and low self-esteem as they strive to limit their use of pornography in spite of the repercussions. Pornography usage has also been connected to anxiety and depressive symptoms, as well as challenges in establishing and sustaining close relationships. Overexposure to pornographic media can lead to exaggerated notions of sexuality and expectations, which can result in unhappiness with one's own appearance or sexual abilities. This can worsen insecurities and feelings of inadequacy, which can have a negative effect on people's mental health and general well-being. Furthermore, watching a lot of porn may desensitize viewers to intimacy and connection in real life, which makes it difficult to have satisfying relationships with other people. Pornography's impact on people's attitudes and ideas around sexuality can also have wider societal effects by influencing cultural norms and values related to sexual activity. The way that unrealistic and frequently idealized sexual scenarios are portrayed in pornography can lead to erroneous impressions of relationships and sex, which can result in false beliefs about intimacy, consent, and sexual health. This may have an impact on people's sexual behavior and decision-making, raising the possibility that they may partake in dangerous or damaging sexual activities. There are a variety of intricate and diverse psychological repercussions associated with watching pornography, including impacts on relationships, mental health, and cultural perceptions of sexuality. Recognizing the possible hazards and negative effects of pornography consumption and encouraging educated decisions on sexual health and well-being require an understanding of these repercussions. By recognizing the psychological effects of pornography, people can create plans to lessen possible harm and foster more positive views about relationships and sexuality. Subscribe now to gain access to exclusive insights on the psychological effects of pornography consumption and learn how to promote healthier attitudes towards sexuality and relationships.